Ready for some gymnastics on this Friday evening inside McGurk Arena on the campus of Central Michigan University. Southern Utah has traveled east to take on the 20th ranked Central Michigan Chippewas. Adam Jackson alongside former Central Michigan gymnast Jordan Charette. And Jordan, will start with your alma mater, Central Michigan. They've got off to a terrific start, undefeated so far here in 2017-2018.
Yes, they've had a great start to their season so far. First meet of the season has actually been their season high, but I know that each meet they're striving to beat that, and they're very capable of doing it.
In that first meet, it was a 196 plus for Central Michigan against Illinois State. As for Southern Utah, a team that's 0-3, but they come in today, their fourth opponent, and they've all been ranked inside the top 25.
Yeah, Southern Utah is a very young team. You know, they lost 7 seniors last season, and so they have 19 new lineup spots between their freshman and sophomore classes. There's the head coach, Scotty Bauman, in his 27th season for Southern Utah. He has led them to 4 consecutive NCAA regional appearances. 1993 Midwest Region Coach of the Year. He was 2010 WAC Coach of the Year as his squad won the conference that year as well. But this is a very successful program out on the West Coast. As for Central Michigan, a very successful program under Jerry Reichardt, a couple of experienced leaders. 34th season for Jerry Reichardt, over 500 wins, 15 MAC championships, and 7 MAC regular season titles. MAC Coach of the Year 9 times. The list goes on and on for Coach Reichardt. Just tremendous in his time here at CMU. So getting ready for that first rotation between Central Michigan and Southern Utah as the touch warm-ups are now complete. The Chippewas will begin on the vault, and Southern Utah over on the bars. As you take a look at the lineup for the visitors, the Thunderbirds coming in looking for their first win of the season. They've competed again against top 25 teams, Boise State twice, BYU, and Central Michigan has started 4-0 and 3-0 in the conference. As there's a look at the bars rotation, but they will start on the vaults. And we get started. Senior Brittany Kaplan, she's going to do your Chenko full. Very nice. Just a small step backwards, but that's exactly what they want to lead off with.
So Brittany Kaplan starting Central Michigan off, the senior.
This is Becky Rosa. She's going to do a blind into a straddle. You have a very nice amplitude on that. She's going to go up for her dismount. We're looking for those handstands to land right on top of the bar. She was just a little bit shy on that one. Nice giant full into a double tuck, and she tries to hang on to that landing. We'll see if they give her the stick.
So far, 2 routines in. It's pink out night here at Central Michigan University, so you'll see the pink all across the arena to support cancer awareness. Played a video before the meet started with all of the gymnasts' parents or family members that have been affected by cancer, so a nice tribute for Central Michigan to hold this night here on this Friday evening. Here's a freshman for Central Michigan, Nora Fettinger, from senior to freshman for CMU.
Nora's going to do your Chenko tuck full, and this vault she actually learned in her first semester here at CMU, so that's pays tribute to her incredible work ethic and her desire to be in this lineup.
Coach Reichardt said she is one of the hungriest gymnasts on this 2018 team.
There goes Nora. Well, you can see her shoulders were pretty close on the table, but she's able to get her chest up and pull off a nice landing.
So 2 vaults so far for CMU. And Madison McBride getting ready to go on the bars for Southern Utah. Very young team, as we mentioned, for Southern Utah. McBride fitting that category, a sophomore in her 2nd season with the Thunderbirds.
She goes front giant into a piked Jaeger. Very nice straight body cast handstand into a bail to handstand. Here she goes for her dismount. You can see her really locking out those handstands. That's something the judges are looking for. Huge dismount, laid out, full twist and double layout.
Very nice routine for Madison McBride. One of the McBride twins on this Southern Utah team. Megan McBride, her sister. We'll see her compete later tonight. This is Gianna Plaxa getting ready to go for Central Michigan.
Gianna's going to do a bit of a different vault. She's going to enter the vault table forward, whereas the last two girls have entered the vault table backwards. She's going to do a front handspring onto the board, another one onto the vault, and a front tuck off. Very nice for the Chippewas.
So updated scores for you. Brittany Kaplan and Nora Fettinger with consistency, both at 9.7, and another good routine from Gianna Plaxa. Rosa with a 9.775 for SUU, and their start on the bars as we go back and forth. Head back to the bars, and Madison Howlett. Howlett had a career high on the bars last week. The sophomore with a 9.825 in their first home meet of the season against Boise State. A loss for Southern Utah, but Boise State typically one of the best teams in the Mountain Rim Gymnastics Conference.
Mounts the high bar, goes past handstand into clear hip handstand, right into a Takacha. Very nice amplitude on that release move. Fail the handstand. She's going to toe circle. And here goes her dismount. She's going to do a full twisting double tuck. Small step forward. We'd like to see the chest get a little higher on that, but overall, solid routines for Southern Utah so far.
And they're off to a good start.
Goes Sydney Williams. She's going to do your Chenko layout full. Very big vault for Sydney. She's got a lot of power.
The sophomore from Germantown, Tennessee. In her first year competing, she tore her ACL last year.
She tore her Achilles last year. Big injury for her. Unfortunately, it took her out for the entire season. So this is actually her first season competing for the Chippewas, and she's done tremendous so far.
And a lot of pressure when you step up to the lineup for the first time. See the updated scores continuing to come in on the first rotation on this Friday night. Coach Reigard sets the bar high here. Chippewas had a 196 in their open. He told us that he wants a 196.4 tonight, so he continues to set that bar extremely high.
Never settled.
Central Michigan coming off a 195.650 as they took down Northern Illinois at DeKalb last weekend to stay perfect in the Mid-American Conference. That was on Sunday, so a quick turnaround as well for CMU from that last Sunday, now competing here on the Friday.
Yes, they've had a short but very busy practice week this week. So they've put the work in. Very nice piked Jaeger. Just goes up to the high bar for her dismount. Be a double layout. Nice flat hips, just a small step backwards. Nice routine.
Well done for Kirsty Yee. So Kirsty Yee competing in the meets on. Katie Clements just going on the vault. As we go back and forth, the senior. We take a look at this one.
Katie's very powerful. Look at the height she gets off the table right here. Huge vault. Just a small step. Nice vault lineup for the Chippewas.
And it finishes with a very impressive sophomore Danelle Pedrick. She was the vault winner a week ago at NIU. 9.925.
Danelle is one of the few gymnasts in the MAC and even in the NCAA that has a vault that starts from a 10.0. She's going to do a Yurchenko double twist. Small step forward, but nice vault.
That vault right there that we just saw is 9th best in the country average-wise. With the difficulty of it, as Jordan was mentioning, Pedrick has been able to rack up a 9.894 throughout the first 5 meets of the season.
Unfortunately, she was a little too far from the bar in that release move.
Karen Gonzalez coming off a good week too at Boise, had a career high on the bars. That's what you get with such a young team though, trying to continue to find consistency in the lineup. Certainly what Scotty Bauman is looking for.
Yeah, when you lose that many lineup spots from a senior class, it's almost like starting fresh with a completely new team. Very nice stuck landing for her. She really pulled off the rest of that routine. The team needs that.
Seven seniors lost from this Southern Utah team a season ago. Jordan, you mentioned it earlier, but 19 of the 24 rotations that were here last year for the Thunderbirds gone this year, which for any program, you lose that many to graduation or whatever it is and try and come back with a brand new team the next year, you're going to struggle in the opening couple of meets.
Yeah, it's a huge turnaround for them, but it's a great opportunity for those underclassmen to get in the lineup and get some experience. Goes Kennedy Ray Johnson. She's going to do Yurchenko layout full.
Kennedy Ray Johnson, the exhibition for Central Michigan. We'll have two more for Southern Utah. In the first rotation here at Central Michigan, Southern Utah taking on the Chippewas. And waiting to get set going on the bars, but the opportunity to pick up some wins in the non-conference as each team stepping away from their respective conference. A good opportunity to fill out your lineup spots before you get back into conference play.
Very nice cast handstand. She's going to go blind half into a front giant half and a very big ginger. Just a little bit of leg separation on that release move. Here goes her dismount. She's going to go blind half, front giant to double tuck. Nice landing.
Very well done. High fives all around for the Thunderbirds. Chippewa's vault score looks like he's in with just over a 48. We'll get those updated. Again, only 5 of the 6 count. So Central Michigan finished up with their vault routine so far. And Jordan, your thoughts on the Chippewas opening up on the vault and how they did?
They had a strong vault rotation. I definitely think that they're capable of more, and they know that. But very nice vaults overall.
We'll take a look at what those scores are. As for Southern Utah, they continue to work on the bars as we get ready for that second rotation. Central Michigan and Southern Utah complete with the first rotation. Scores not in. As for the Thunderbirds, what did you see from them on the uneven bars?
The Thunderbirds definitely responded to adversity well. They had one fall in the middle of their lineup, but their anchor spot really pulled it off and got the score they needed, so they were able to drop that score. And overall, a nice rotation for the Thunderbirds.
Again, scores getting racked up as we take a look at some of the competitors in that first rotation. A young Thunderbird squad, but some great scores. As for Central Michigan, again, had a couple of 9-7s in there as well, but the two won't be satisfied with this first rotation. One more coming up before they'll switch now, and Central Michigan over to the bars as we take a look at their vault scores. 9.85, the best score for Danielle Pedrick. One of the reasons why she's an anchor there for CMU. And the bar scores for SUU, a 9.7 for Autumn Jorgensen, a couple of 9.75s, and Rosa, a 9.775, as she's got the best score for Southern Utah. We'll have the second rotation coming up here in Mount Pleasant next on ESPN3. Stay with us. Done with the first rotation at Central Michigan as the Chippewas and the Thunderbirds battling it. They'll switch sides as Southern Utah now at the vault and Central Michigan to the bars. And again, we take a look back at those first rotations. Central Michigan getting the 48.8 and Southern Utah 48.825. So Thunderbirds just a little bit better through the first rotation. What'd you see from each side?
I saw very strong lineups from both sides. It's a close meet right now, so I think we can expect both teams to be bringing their A game on the second event and keeping this meet competitive.
Absolutely, and you know Southern Utah, they come in here in a non-conference situation trying to pick up that first win of the year. As you take a look at their scores, Becky Rosa with the standout 9.775, or the 9.850 from Yee, the standout there. Rosa, a good score as well, but very good scores, and you get to drop one, obviously, so you drop that fifth one, and really a nice start for SUU.
And that's why that anchor position is so important. Autumn responded so well to Amber's unfortunate fall off the bars, and she was able to pull off a solid 9-7 routine.
As for Central Michigan, best score for Pedrick, a 9.850 as we take a look. Consistency at the start of that lineup with Kaplan, Fettinger, and Plaxa set 9-7. And then the back end of the lineup really improved for Central Michigan.
And that's exactly how you want to see the scores go, as they rise as the lineup goes on.
So ready to go for the second rotation. On the vault, we'll get started with Megan McBride.
Here goes Danielle Pedrick for CMU. Nice, very big Takacha. She's going to go kit pass to handstand, giant full, right into a pack salto. Her dismount is going to be a little different. She's going to go giant full. She's going to put her toes on the bar, do a toe front half. Nails the landing. Awesome leadoff spot for the Chippewas.
Wow. Great leadoff by the sophomore as McBride just went. We'll see if we can get another look at Megan McBride as the two continue to compete and block rotation. So back and forth at the same time. And again,
Southern Utah just matched Janelle's Pedrick awesome landing on bars with a stuck Yurchenko pull.
Great work from Megan McBride. Was named the MRGC Vault Specialist of the Week for the second time this season after competing against Boise on Friday. A 9.85 for McBride. And looks like another good score coming up. And after Megan, you see a similar face, Madison, the two identical twins. So Madison getting ready to compete as well. Talked to Coach Bombin about those two, and he said, I still can't tell them apart.
That's got to get confusing, that's for sure.
Megan and Madison, a couple of sophomores, both out of Orem, Utah. Went to Mountain View High School. So Madison trying to top a potential good score, a very good score coming up for Megan.
Madison. She's going to do a Yurchenko layout full as well, just like her sister, small step backwards.
So a couple vaults from the McBrides as we flip over to Courtney Campbell.
Courtney just did a very nice Ginger release move right into a bail. And her dismount's going to be a giant full right into a double tuck. Just the smallest step backwards, but a very nice hit routine. Keep the momentum going for the Chippewas.
Courtney, a key cog, another senior on this Central Michigan team. Stepped up in a big way. She competed in floor last week against Northern Illinois. Chippewas have had some changes in that floor lineup, and Coach Rygaard was very impressed with her steadiness and coming in a clutch situation. They're competing, though, on bars, following a 9.775 from the sophomore Danelle Pedrick. Autumn Jorgensen is next, another sophomore. Again, 3 sophomores at the beginning of this SUU vault lineup.
She's going to do a Yurchenko layout full. As we'll see, all of the gymnasts in this lineup will do Yurchenko layout fulls, which all start from a 9.95.
So not quite the 10 level, but still for sophomores, very impressive coming in young in their gymnastics career collegiately. 9.725 for Courtney Campbell. And again, this is a great time to, when you've got a non-conference meet, to try and firm up that lineup and figure out who's going to be your starters and in rotation for those conference meets, as they're changing fluidly throughout the beginning of the season.
This is sophomore Haley Porter. She just did a giant full into a very nice Ginger. Bailed a handstand. Haley has very long lines. She's a very tall gymnast. Very pretty to watch on bars. She's going to do a huge dismount. It's going to be a full twisting double tuck. Looks like her knees buckled a little bit on that landing, but overall a solid routine.
Coach Rygaard seemed pleased with it. This is Morgan Alfaro, freshman from California.
Here goes her Yurchenko layout full.
Really impressed with the way that Southern Utah has competed today with so many youngsters. Big expectations for Coach Bauman in his 27th season, as Coach Rygaard gets set to talk, or gets set to watch Kaylee Miller compete. 2 very respectable programs. Waiting for the judges here to give us the scores and get ready for the next competitor. In the meantime, we'll have another vault.
Oh, she does a soup tuck full. I think that was a recent add-in to their lineup. Not expected to compete on vault today, but she stepped up to the plate. Here goes junior Kaylee Miller. She's going to go giant to a blind half right into a straddle Jaeger. And she's going to go tip just a little bit shy on that handstand. Bail the handstand. Kaylee's going to do the same dismount that Haley just did. It's going to be a full twisting double tuck. Very nice landing.
Kaylee's best score on bars came in the opener against Illinois State, a 9.825, as she's competed every week for Central Michigan on the bars. Continuing over on vaults. This is McKenna Burnside. So back-to-back freshmen for Southern Utah, Fort Worth, Texas native. So ready for Burnside, and also getting ready for Gianna Plaxa.
This is actually Karen Gonzalez. She's going to do the same vault that Molly just did, a soup tuck full.
So the senior.
Here goes Gianna Plaxa. Very nice Jaeger. Hit that handstand strong, bail the handstand. Gianna's going to do a different dismount. She is going to do a blind half into a double front dismount. It's a blind landing, very difficult to see. Nice control, awesome routine.
Well done by Gianna Plaxa, the junior from Pennsylvania. Take a look at the scores. Right around a 9.75, the average so far. Danelle Pedrick leading the way still with the 9.775. And the scores for Southern Utah as well. Megan McBride, after getting Specialist of the Week on vault, leading the way once again with that 9.85. As you take a look at Scotty Bauman, graduate of Utah State, with that program for 7 seasons before coming over. Chippewas are fired up as they continue to cheer each other on.
And that is a career high for Gianna, 9.9.
Wow. So a great score for Plaxa. Again, certainly helped out the difficulty with that dismount. You mentioned it, not easy. A blind dismount.
Most likely the only deduction in her routine came from that small step on her dismount. Here goes Brittany Kaplan, senior out of Parker, Colorado. That's a new release move for her this year. She learned that this summer in about 3 days. Brittany is a MAC bar champion her sophomore year. She's very impressive on this event, incredibly consistent. Double layout. Nice landing. She hangs on with those toes.
Really nice from the senior Brittany Kaplan, who had quite the challenging offseason. And she, as you mentioned, got right back into the lineup, though, has maintained her consistency and has big expectations again here in her senior season after becoming a champion in the Mid-American Conference a couple of seasons ago. So there are the scores for Southern Utah. Best one came from Megan McBride right out the get-go, a 9.85. But again, real nice job by the Thunderbirds. They're competing well here through the first 2 rotations.
In the exhibition spot is Kennedy Ray Johnson. She has been in and out of this lineup, but I think that she could work her way in toward the end of season and be a real staple in this lineup. I know she's nursing a sore shoulder, so they've got to be really careful with her numbers in the gym, and which can be hard with your confidence and going into a meet when you haven't done the numbers necessarily. So her experience in the exhibition spot is very important. Yeah,
won't count in the scores, but still an opportunity to impress the coaches and try and work her way into the lineup in the future.
She does a cast handstand, giant full into a ginger.
There you see the total scores through the first 2 rotations.
Southern Utah just hanging on to that 1/4 of a tenth lead that they had in the first rotation as well. Huge dismount for Ray. Very nice routine for the freshman. She's going to do big things.
So a 97.825 to the 97.8. And so far the visitors have been just a little bit better, with obviously the 2 most important rotations upcoming. Let's start with bars, though, for Central Michigan. Seemed like they had a pretty good routine there up on the uneven bars.
The bar lineup was great today. I mean, they were consistent throughout, and the scores built as the lineup progressed, and that's exactly what you want to see. Capped off with 2 highlight routines from Gianna and Brittany, so they're doing well tonight, and I think that it can only get better.
Yeah, Plaxa with the 9.9, as Jordan mentioned. That's a career high. Very impressive from the junior. And as for Southern Utah, looks like their best score coming from Megan McBride, a 9.85. And again, a young squad competing well on the road. Here's a look at some of the replays from those bar routines for Central Michigan, led off by Danelle Pedrick.
Here's nice Yurchenko layout full. It's Courtney Campbell.
So again, the 2 rotations complete here in Mount Pleasant. 97.825 for Southern Utah. And a 97.8 as the competitors just getting done with that second rotation. And now they'll head over to the floor and to the balance beam. So Central Michigan on the balance beam when we get back. For Southern Utah, they will be on the floor. And the visitors, Thunderbirds, looking to continue their success. Very slim margin, though. So we'll take a look at those upcoming 2 events when we come back on ESPN3. Two rotations complete, and so far Southern Utah just a pinch better than the 20th ranked Central Michigan Chippewas in Mount Pleasant. The 5th meet of the year for CMU and 4th for the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds looking for their first win and through 2 rotations with a very young squad. Competing well with a 97.825 as they will head over to the floor. And Central Michigan warming up as they get set for the balance beam. Just a reminder, get your tickets for the MAC Wrestling Championships that'll be hosted right here in McGurk Arena on March 3rd and March 4th, that first weekend in the month of March. As all teams in the Mid-American Conference will compete. You can get them at cmuchippewas.com. What do you think, Jordan? You going to come out and watch the wrestlers?
I wouldn't miss it.
Great. That's what we like to hear. We know you'll be here for this one. We'll both be here. Not only does Central Michigan host the Wrestling Championships, but the Gymnastics MAC Championships here as well. Those a little bit later, March 24th. And you have to think this Chippewa team is poised and ready to make a run at the MAC Championships again this year, especially when they're in their own arena.
Absolutely. This is going to be a special experience for these girls because it only happens once every 7 years that your home team will get to host the MAC Championships. So very, very special experience for these girls.
Last time Central Michigan won the MAC Championships was the 2013-14 season, and they won it and hoping to win it at home this year, but in a non-conference clash right now with Southern Utah as the 2 teams step away from their respective conferences. And so far, it's been the Thunderbirds, but always a big event upcoming here for Central Michigan, the balance beam, as they get set to go up there and try and reclaim the lead that the Thunderbirds have taken, but a very slim lead through the first 2 rotations.
Here goes junior Abby Rose Zeller. This is her first time competing in the beam lineup. She has exhibition before, but this is her first time in lineup. Very beautiful artistic gymnast. She's got different movements and she just flows when she's up there on the beam. Just a small wobble on that switch half, but she regained her composure. She's going to do a different series. It's going to go aerial and do a back handspring, swing down. Very nice. Looks painful, but that is exactly what she was supposed to do.
I was about to say, it doesn't look very good, but she certainly made it look easy.
Very difficult connection. Going into her leap combination is going to be a switch leap, split quarter, sorry. She throws that extra beat jump in there because she missed a connection early in the routine, just making sure she has all of her requirements. Her dismount is going to be a front layout full. Very nice lead-off routine for Abby Rose. So awesome to see that first time in the lineup a success.
Yeah, the nerve certainly in that First time competing in front of the fans, but she handled it well. This is the senior Karen Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a great story. She's a 3-year walk-on coming into this season and earned a scholarship in the off-season just before the year started. Coach Scotty Bauman lined up the team and told them all and said it was a fun moment as she leads off on the floor. Getting ready for Gianna Plaxa now for Central Michigan as she calms her nerves with Christine McDonald and gets ready to go.
Christine just saying some final encouraging and reassuring words for G as she gets ready to mount the beam.
Probably the best thing she can do, get her to laugh, because you know Gianna is ready to be extremely serious and ready to go here on the balance beam. Looks like Coach Reigard's pretty focused as well.
Always is when we're on beam. Gianna's going to mount the beam with a front tuck. It's a very difficult mount right off the bat. It's going to get one of her major requirements in.
Central Michigan ranked 22nd in the country on balance beam coming in and first in the Mid-American Conference.
There goes front tuck mount, solid.
Abby Rose Zeller with a 9.625 to get started for Central Michigan. Again, her first time competing on the balance beam.
Gianna's going to do a beat jump, split 3/4, big wobble. Unfortunately, she comes off the beam.
She's doing all she could to fight it, but just couldn't hold on.
Just going up for her series is going to be a back handspring layout. Fall tall to her finish, very nice. She's going to do a sheep jump where she actually loses sight of the beam when she tosses her head back there. Dismount is going to be gainer off the end, sticks the landing. Gianna responded very well to that fall because you never know when you're going to need to count that routine. Hopefully they don't, but you never know what's going to happen in the lineup, so you need to fight for every last 10.
Plaxa did a nice job of doing that as this is McKenna Burnside now. Burnside had a career high in her last meet on the floor, a 9.85. See her teammates doing the routine with her. That's something that Central Michigan will do as well.
Goes her second pass. It's going to be a front layout, front full. Last pass will be a double tuck. Looking for her to get her chest nice and tall. Nice double pike for her last pass.
Well done by the freshman, McKenna Burnside. Greeted with her teammates. But a very nice rotation for Burnside. In the meantime, Haley Porter trying to pick up the slack and keep it rolling for Central Michigan after Abby Rose Zeller and Gianna Plaxa trying to continue the rotation.
Proving to be a pretty even matchup for CMU and Southern Utah as both teams led off with a 9.625 in this event.
Yeah, it's been close throughout from that first rotation on vault and bars. Two teams switched, stayed close. And continuing that way into this third rotation on the balance beam and the floor. Central Michigan, perfect on the season, 4-0. 20th ranked in the country, in Southern Utah Normally a very good program, and still are, but going through the experience of graduating seniors and a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this year's squad. So still trying to figure out their confidence and their lineups early in the year. Two coaches that are very ambitious. Told you Coach Rygaard expects over a 196. Scotty Bauman said the same thing. He says, we think we can get a 196 as well. Haven't seen it yet this year. But Coach Bauman has said his competitors have looked so good in practice, just needs to translate to meet day. Easier said than done.
They had a little bit of a judges conference about Gianna's score and how they were going to handle her fall.
This is Madison Loomis. Best score on the floor this year for Loomis, a 9.825.
First pass is a double pike. Just loses a little bit of control on that landing, but lots of power. The combination is going to be a switch side to a Popa. Middle pass is going to be a front layout half. Very nice control on that landing. Here she goes for her last pass. It's going to be a double tuck. Very nice landing.
A nice routine for the transfer from San Jose State. Back over to the balance beam at Central Michigan's Haley Porter.
Haley starting off solid. That was her full turn, a requirement for every beam routine. Goes for a dismount. Gainer off the end, sticks the landing. Nice routine.
Building off last week's performance, a 9.85, a season high. And career high for Haley Porter at Northern Illinois. And having the tough task of following Gianna Plaska, who just couldn't quite hold on, had a fall on the beam, and Haley Porter picking her up, as a good teammate does.
That's the momentum they need. You need somebody to pick you up and have your back and just set the pace for the rest of the lineup.
Absolutely. And again, we talked about Plaxa having the fall. So a 9, solid for her. But Porter, a good rotation. And now back to Southern Utah. You take a look at some of their scores. This one looking like it's going to come down right to the end. Very close at this point in time.
Looks like it's going to be a 9.825 for Haley Porter. Just a quarter of a tenth under her career high, which she got last weekend while they were on the road at NIU.
Yeah. So back-to-back good weeks for Porter. Just a sophomore for Central Michigan.
Haley is really growing as a competitor each meet this season. She was in and out of the lineup as a freshman, but has proven to be a very consistent competitor this season.
Yeah, Coach Rygaard said just in the last 2 months he has really seen a lot from Porter. This is Danelle Pendrick, the all-arounder for CMU.
Now does full turn. And her series is coming up next. It's going to be the handspring layout. Very nice. Just a little bit too much momentum on that, but she steps back and lands very smoothly. Cat leap to a switch split half. goes her acro element. It's going to be a front aerial. Very nice routine so far. Dismount is going to be a round off double full. Very, very nice routine for the Chippewas.
Pedrick, a terrific score upcoming. Best score on the balance beam, a 9.9 or 9.825 for Donnell. And a 9.7 last week. Those are the updated scores as we continue on in this third rotation. Southern Utah still in front.
2.5 twist. Very nice. Just a little bit of form break in the middle of that twist, but nice landing, nice routine.
That's Molly Jazwakowski, freshman from Kirkwood, Missouri. Next up on the balance beam, you've got Miranda Wazorik, and she had a big routine last week against NIU. Coach Reigard said he wasn't sure if the team was going to win. It was close at the end. They finished with balance beam on the road, and he said Wazorik stepped up in her calm nature and took pressure off Katie Clements, who finishes the balance beam rotation and nailed her routine.
Miranda is a very dependable competitor. She had a very successful freshman year. Unfortunately, had 2 back-to-back ACL tears her sophomore and her junior year. Came back very strong as her senior year so far, and you would have never guessed that she was out for 2 seasons.
Absolutely wouldn't. 9.875 for Pedrick, leading the way after a terrific routine just moments ago.
It's going to be a career high for her as well. Miranda's going to do her full turn. Miranda is just very sure of herself when she's up there. She stays calm, and she works with what she's got. She's going to do the handspring layout. Very nice. She's going to do a beat jump into a straddle 3/4. Does a cartwheel. And her leap combination is going to be a switch leap into a standing back layout. And here goes her dismount. Third one we're going to see today is a gainer off the end. Just a small step forward. Nice routine for Miranda.
Consistency continuing with Miranda Wazorik, the senior from Orland Hills, Illinois. This is Autumn Jorgensen.
She does a round off back handspring double tuck.
So a sophomore finishing up, one of the toughest competitors that Coach Bauman has had at Southern Utah. He's been there a while, 27 seasons, so a high compliment for Autumn Jorgensen, who just made her way into the all-around rotation for the first time last week for the Thunderbirds. And again, the updated scores nearing the end of the third rotation. And Southern Utah has been hanging on all night long in front after all 3 rotations, and it looks like it's going to remain that way, but still a couple of scores to be counted. Katie Clements, one of the best on the balance beam for Central Michigan. Hey, just a reminder, men's basketball team will be back at home against Buffalo on Tuesday. Buffalo leading the Mid-American Conference, just 1 loss this year. That one will be on at 7 o'clock. Myself, Matt DeVries, having the call. The Chippewas out in Athens tomorrow afternoon. You can catch the game at 3:30 as Central Michigan looks to sweep the Bobcats. Remember, that was the first win in conference play this year for CMU inside McGurk Arena.
Here goes Katie Clements. Very aggressive on the beam. And this is one of her specialties. She's known for just being absolutely rock solid on this event. She's going to do a triple series. First one we're going to see from the Chippewas. Back handspring layout. Very nice, strong finish, as she always does every day. Lead combo is going to be a switch leap into a straddle quarter. To her front aerial, and she stays down. Very nice.
Averaging a 9.9 this season on the beam, which is 5th best in the country.
Just her dismount left. Looking for a stick here. And she gets it. Very nice response for the Chippewas after that fall in the middle of the lineup. They finished it off, and they were able to drop that score with a strong rotation.
Senior captain Katie Clements. She's had quite the week. Scholarship awarded to Katie Clements, which was really cool how Coach Reigard pulled them together. And after being a walk-on for 3 years to earn a scholarship for her final season, she has definitely earned it.
She has done nothing but prove day in and day out that she deserves that scholarship. So it was so awesome to see that pay off for her and be such a big surprise.
This is Madison McBride for Southern Utah.
She's going to do a round off back handspring, double tuck. Just a little bit low on that landing, but a nice finish.
An excited group. Southern Utah have been feeling it tonight through 3 rotations. They've looked good.
Here goes Kennedy Ray Johnson. She's going to do a beat jump into a Sassone. Her series is going to be a front toss into a back handspring. Very nice. Just a little bit off in that connection, so she's going to dance back and try it again. She's going to go cat leap into a switch half. Just a dismount left. It's going to be a round off, 1.5. Stock landing. Very nice routine for the freshman.
Absolutely. From Cordova, Texas, the freshman Kennedy Ray Johnson. Nice work in exhibition as that wraps up the 3rd rotation. And again, we saw great routines. It looks like Katie Clements, the best scorer, equaling a career high, a 9.925. And Jordan, she just continues to be so consistent for Central Michigan at the back end of that beam rotation. Such a special competitor, and Coach Reigard has got to be so thrilled to continue to have her in this one final season as a senior.
Katie is something special both on and off the floor. I mean, she's just a great leader and an example overall. So the team really looks to her for guidance, and she's just a great senior to have on this team this year.
I know.
Certainly helps to have those seniors on the other side for Southern Utah, bringing freshmen and sophomores, the majority here to Mount Pleasant. And through 3 rotations, we'll get the final scores here coming up on the other side. But looks like they're going to take a lead into the 4th rotation, looking for their first win of the season. And they have competed really well here.
Absolutely.
So the Chippewas and Southern Utah battling through 3 rotation. Scores aren't quite updated yet, but it was the Thunderhawks with a lead after 1, after 2, and it looks like they're going to have the lead heading into the 4th rotation, as they will. Very slim.
Just a 1/4 of a tenth every rotation. It is going to come down to the very last routine.
A 146.8 and a 146.775. Well, it doesn't get much closer than that. Southern Utah trying to pick up their first win. Central Michigan trying to stay undefeated on the season. They'll be on the floor with the Thunderbirds on the balance beam when we come back. Finish is coming up next. Stay with us between Central Michigan and Southern Utah from Mount Pleasant. All right, we've got a close one as we come to the fourth and final rotation for Southern Utah and Central Michigan. Adam Jackson, former Chippewa gymnast Jordan Charette back on ESPN3. And the young squad for Southern Utah has been just a little bit better so far. As we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Thunderbirds, BYU will come to their spot in just a week from now. It's the second meeting with Brigham Young. They fell earlier in the season than Utah State, Iowa, Washington as well. So good tough schedule coming up for Southern Utah as they continue to try and get better. A young team that's been challenged at home and on the road under Scotty Bauman. As for Central Michigan, they'll head out. Took on Illinois State earlier in the year. That's where they had their best score, over a 196. And then there's the big one, Jordan, Kent State, when they get back into Mid-American Conference competition. And that's usually the big one every year. Kent State, Central Michigan. Seems like it's one of those two teams at the top at the end of the year. So Chippewas will get Kent State right here in McGurk Arena, which will certainly help. But that's an all-important meet coming up in about a week from now. A couple weeks from now.
Absolutely. It's a meet that we all look forward to every year because it's a close matchup. And, you know, usually Kent and Central are 1-2 in the Mid-American Conference. So it's usually a pretty good meet to watch. It's exciting right down to the end, as we can expect this one to be.
Well, this one looks like it is going to come right down to the end. 146.8 for Southern Utah, 146.775. Each team trying to pull out the win. For Central Michigan to overtake Southern Utah, what do you think needs to happen here on the floor?
I think they have to sell every landing, and they just have to go out there and have fun, do what they do every single day, and it'll easily be enough. Yeah,
just a matter of hitting those 5 routines. For Southern Utah, just continue to do what they've done, which is competed hard. They've been having fun doing so. As you take a look at their beam lineup, one of the toughest rotations to finish with, though, the balance beam. We'll see how good they are. A young group looking to pick up a big-time win on the road, their first of the season, if they can hold on and get it.
See Katie and Macy dancing to the music. They are quite the duo, those two.
A couple of seniors enjoying their last year at CMU.
Very nice back handspring layout.
And this is a freshman, Alyssa Ledoux, starting off the visitors on the balance beam.
She's going to go into her leap combination. It's going to be a switch leap to a straddle half. So far, looking solid in this leadoff spot. Very nice full turn. Her dismount is going to be a side aerial into a layout full. Very difficult. Awesome routine.
Well done from the freshman, Alyssa Ledoux, to get Southern Utah off to a good start on the balance beam. They have looked very composed this evening. Trying to pull one off as back to CMU.
Courtney Campbell on the floor. This is her second floor debut this season, was consistent in the lineup last season. Her first pass is going to be a Rudy into a stag jump, a lot of power. She's She's going to go switch ring into a swing wall full.
.975 last week, inserted in the lineup after an unfortunate injury to Macy Hilliker a couple weeks ago.
Courtney so far looking very nice on the floor. She just has one tumbling pass left, and it's actually going to be the hardest one she does in her entire routine. It's going to be a 2.5 twist. Ironically, the hardest, but the pass that she is most confident in. There goes her 2.5 twist. There's still a little stumble on the landing, but she stays in bounds and controls it. Nice lead off for the Chippewas.
So back-to-back weeks for Courtney Campbell in the floor rotation.
Very nice front toss into a back handspring swing down that we saw Abby Rose do.
Kirsten Yee, one of the veterans on this team, a redshirt senior.
She's going to do a split jump into a split 3/4.
Great score for Ledoux to start things off. The freshman with a 9.8. Yee trying to follow that up. Best score here, a 9.925, which she was able to score last year.
She's going to do a front aerial. It's her acro skill. Just loses her balance a little bit there, but she saves it. Her dismount is going to be a gainer pike off the end. Very nice amplitude on that dismount. Gets her chest nice and tall. It's difficult to do on that dismount. Looks like we had a little bit of a false start from the music for freshman Nora Fettinger.
So the freshman ready to roll now as the music plays on.
Her first pass is going to be a 2.5 twist, as we saw Courtney's last pass was. Second pass going to be a round off 1.5 to a punch front pike. Last pass going to be a Rudy. Very nice landing for Nora. Keeping the momentum going for the Chippewas on this final floor rotation.
Second time we've seen Fettinger today. Vaulted as well for CMU. Again, the Chippewas came in trailing 146.775, their score to a 146.8. And there are the updated scores so far, but still a long way to go. Only through 2 competitors on each side on the balance beam and the floor.
Very nice amplitude on that jump combination. Split jump to a straddle quarter.
One of the few seniors on this team, Karen Gonzalez.
Highest beam score is a 9.8, so she's looking to beat that today. Just a little wobble on the series, but she pulls tall to her finish.
Got that beam high score last week against Boise State. It's a tough rotation for Southern Utah. They're replacing 3 seniors on the balance beam rotation, and one of them getting a 10.0 last year. So high expectations from a season ago coming in here to 2018.
Cat leap to a front aerial, looking very solid in this routine thus far. Just a dismount left. It's going to be a front full.
Nice landing there. And a good routine for Gonzalez.
This is the second time we're seeing Abby Rose Zeller. Like I said, very artistic on the balance beam and just as artistic, if not more, on the floor exercise. She just makes the most of every single movement in this floor routine. As you can see, every one of the Chippewas in this lineup has that little fire up motion with their hand. Something new they did this year. Wow, front full to a front layout into a front tuck. Big combination. It's new for her this weekend. Switch leap, or switch side rather, into a popa. Last pass, going to be a Ruby. Just looking to control that landing. Get that chest nice and tall. Very nice routine for Abby Rose.
Big deep breath from Abby Rose Zeller after good work on the floor. 3 down, 3 to go. Plaxa, Pedrick, and Clements coming up for CMU. Packham, Jorgensen, and Nip all will compete on the balance beam. And Southern Utah coming in, looking for that first victory, and has led after first 3 rotations of vaults. And then over on the bars and the floor. And you can see it's still very close, as the Chippewas are going to have to do a little bit more to try and keep that perfect record going. Just a reminder, you can get your Central Michigan women's and men's basketball tickets. A nice package that's coming up where you can go to 4 games for the price of 2. They're calling it the rivalry package, as the women will take on Toledo and also take on Eastern Michigan, while the men will take on Eastern and Western Michigan. Adults only $24, and seniors and youth a little bit cheaper, $20. You can visit the Event Center here in Mount Pleasant, Ticket Central, and use the promo code WEEKEND18, or you can go online, www.cmuchippewas.com, to get those tickets for men's and women's basketball. They'll be competing here throughout the month of February, along with Central Michigan Gymnastics. Again, next home meet for the gymnastics team is against Kent State. Back inside Mid-American Conference competition. In the meantime, though, trying to finish up strong here against Southern Utah. Here's Gianna Plaxa.
Floor is an event that Gianna is very much known for. It's one of her strong suits. Rudy layout. Very nice lead combination. Look for that fire up. Middle pass is going to be a front double full. Very difficult. Very nice landing. Just the last pass left is going to be a front handspring into a Rudy. Very nice finish for Gianna.
So Plaxa, good score upcoming for Central Michigan. And we flip right back to Packham up on the balance beam.
You'll notice the song that's playing in the background right now. They play it after every strong routine. Something new they tried this year. Try and just keep the momentum going.
And that's all about what it is, keeping the momentum and the energy in the gym. A better time to have it right now than at the end of the meet, trying to finish strong, each team.
Very nice series, back handspring layout.
There's a peek at the updated scores so far through this fourth and final rotation. Thunderbirds still hanging on, 175.95. They've been in front all night long.
Very different dismount, front aerial into a gainer front full.
So Mary Packham, the latest, up on the balance beam as the routines continue to come in. Very solid and consistent from the young core from the Thunderbirds.
Here goes Danelle Pedrick. First pass is going to be a triple full. Very difficult tumbling pass. Nice landing, something she struggled with a bit in the warm-ups, but good to see her pull that off in the routine.
Coming off a season high at NIU, a 9.875 a week ago. So Danelle Pedrick continuing to compete well in the all-around for Central Michigan. He's had another good evening inside McGurk Arena.
She goes just the final pass left is going to be a double pike. Finish for Danelle. Nice routine for the Chippewas.
Sophomore, very consistent. Danelle Pedrick delivering for CMU. As again, the meet so close, so every routine, every moment mattering here at the end. Autumn Jorgensen looks nice and relaxed, getting ready to step onto the balance beam.
Autumn just a sophomore, so that's pretty impressive to see from just a sophomore.
She looks like she's just hanging out with her friends, having a good time, trying to relieve the stress and the difficulty of this upcoming routine.
Everybody has their own way of dealing with that agonizing wait before you salute the judges. Sometimes it takes longer than others, but sometimes that's the worst part, is just waiting. And once you're up there, you just do your thing and you're fine.
We'll see if she can just do her thing all around for the second straight week. Jorgensen competed an all around last week against Boise State for the first time. And she led Southern Utah with a 38.675 in the all-around. So when you have a good score like that, get put right back into the lineup. It's actually Hannah Knipp, my apologies.
Hannah actually just a freshman. Very composed.
Laguna Hills native out of California.
Switch sleep into a split jump. Very nice amplitude on that weave combination. Just the dismount left. my apologies, it's a front tuck. Here goes her dismount. Ground up into a double back, very difficult dismount.
So a good finish. And Katie Clements now stepping up, the senior for Central Michigan.
Goes Katie for her final pass. It's going to be a double pike. Very nice routine for the senior.
What a strength it is to have her on the end of your balance beam and floor rotation. Great work from Katie Clements. And Clements just earning the scholarship last week, a walk-on for the past 3 seasons. So great to see for Katie Clements, as we'll still have a couple exhibitions upcoming. Again, the scores at the moment still favoring Southern Utah. They've been holding on all night long, Jordan.
It's going to be close. It's going to come down to this final routine.
This is Hannah Knipp. Autumn Jorgensen it was the last time competing.
Switch leap into a split 3/4. Gonna go back handspring layout. Nice full turn. Dismount's going to be a gainer full off the side.
A good finish there for Knipp. And
here goes senior Brittany Kaplan. First time we're going to see her on floor this season. She's coming off of a knee surgery over the summer. Injury that she's battled since her freshman year here.
a mirror image there. Courtney Campbell.
Round off whip to a 1.5, punch front. Leap combination is going to be a switch side into a popa. Just the last pass. It's going to be a double tuck. Very nice first routine back for Brittany. Little stumble on the first pass, but overall a strong routine.
Senior trying to work her way into the floor lineup that's been solid this year. Again, a couple injuries, but Chippewas look like they have a good floor score coming up. Right now, that's the final score at the moment. 49.025 on the beam for Southern Utah, who routine after routine, they just were very consistent down the stretch. We'll see if those are indeed the final scores, but it looks like the Thunderbirds have come up with the better score here in Mount Pleasant. They've been really solid all night long, from the start to the finish.
A little bit of a stumble, but she manages to fight and stay on the beam.
This is Madison Loomis, sophomore from California. Exhibition routine for Southern Utah.
Just going to go a little bit of a different full turn. Put some artistry in her routine there. Series is going to be a big handspring layout. And she pulls back to her finish nice and strong.
And there you see the final score official now as we continue to watch the exhibition. Southern Utah will officially pick up the victory with a 195.825. Very good team score for the Thunderbirds. The Chippewas right behind them, a 195.675. Saw some really good gymnastics tonight from both teams.
Here goes Kennedy Ray Johnson as an exhibition for floor. Starting off with her first pass as a double tuck. Leap combination is going to be a switch half into a wolf pull. Middle pass is a front layout, front full. Just the last pass left. It's going to be a 1.5 into a punch front. Very nice routine for the freshman.
Kennedy Ray Johnson continuing well in the exhibition department tonight for Central Michigan. She's looked strong. Going to make the coaches' decisions coming up pretty tough. But again, the final score you see on the screen, Central Michigan and Southern Utah, and the Thunderbirds, Jordan, coming up with their season best, a 195.825, best score in their 4 meets, and they brought it tonight in McGurk Arena.
Absolutely, it was an exciting meet to watch. You know, despite the upset, I think both teams competed very well and very strong, right down to the very last routine, which is exactly what you want to see in a gymnastics meet.
And for Central Michigan, not their highest score of the season, but still an improved score from last week against NIU. So very well done by Central Michigan. Southern Utah with the 49 on the vaults. They had a 49 on the balance beam as well. The Chippewas with that 49 on the bars. And again, this one won't count for the conference score, but a big-time win for an extremely young Southern Utah team. Came in 0-3, trying to build up their confidence under 27th year head coach Scotty Bauman, and thought that if they could just put it together in a meet, that they could gain that confidence. He'd been seeing it in practice and finally seeing it in these routines all night long. Just didn't make many mistakes, and when you don't make many mistakes, you're going to put yourselves in a good spot at the end.
Yep, they were aiming for that 196, and they got very close. So I think that's something that they can build off of for the rest of their season.
So that'll wrap this one up. Again, the Thunderbirds come in and take down the Chippewas, give Central Michigan their first loss of the season, a 195.825 for Southern Utah, their best score. For our entire crew, Jordan Charette, Adam Jackson saying good night from McGurk Arena.